we're talking about a teacher of 18 years who's questioned her farewell gift. Would love your thoughts on this one. So a teacher who worked at a local school here in Dubai for 18 years took to Facebook, posing a question to the public. She shared her story. She said, in June of this year, she was informed that her contract would not be renewed. Now, this was after term ended. So the notification came in the form of an appreciation card and a bottle of perfume from a supermarket worth 73 dirham. Now, what upset her the most was that it was so late in the year, she didn't even have a chance to inform her students that she wouldn't be returning. So she's asking, do you think that this is a fair send-off? What is your take?
I honestly think it's not a fair, because it's 18 years. You know, she has dedicated her life, you know, for 18 years to teaching students. And I believe that
it's a job.
The role of a teacher is so big and so huge. It's bigger than every other job. Because if you want to think about it in a way that the teacher is raising the children, you know, like the children that are in the classroom, their brains are like a sponge. So whatever the teacher tells them, they grasp onto it. And she probably was a good teacher. There is no doubt. And to have her terminated in that way, I would say that's kind of like unfair.
Yeah, I think the unfair thing was that she didn't get a chance to inform her students. Because, and I'll play a little bit of a devil's advocate to you, is that like, it is a job and it's a professional space. Yes, teaching, I do think, is an advocacy. It's like something that you have to put your heart and soul into, especially 18 years. But generally, it's your relationship with the students that are the most important. So, and I do think that a school or a business will have a way to say goodbye to their teachers.
Yes, 100%.
But I think that for her, I think if you're really invested in the school and the pupils as they grow and you've been there, so I'm not sure what year she was teaching, but if she's been there for 18 years, the whole cycle of students in that school, she'll have taught each year. So it would be very important to be able to have that moment and to let them know. So I think in terms of an empathy move, the school should have acknowledged that she was leaving before the end of the term, so she'd be able to have that goodbye. Because at the end of the day, it's if the employer-teacher relationship is one thing, but I just think that it would have been nicer for her to be able to have her moment with her favorite students.
I agree with you, and as well, you know, you wouldn't like it. Like the students wouldn't like it if like they get back the next term and they just like, oh yeah, the teacher's not there, she's gone. There's no explanation. There's nothing. You know, it would have been as well a better move from the school to maybe, I don't know, not just like take her out like that.
Let her know in advance.
Literally,
Because I think because she mentioned the price of the perfume and that it was from a supermarket, and I think that that's just probably how they do it, you know. So like I myself, like, you could say don't bother, give me the perfume, but at the same time some people might value that, you know. Some people could value the perfume. So, and I think if that's what they do for teachers on that level, that's what they do. But I think like the main thing is let the kids know, and then I'm sure the kids would have facilitated with a nice gift.
I mean, it's not only about that, because like, for example, like I remember when I was like younger and my teacher would suddenly not want to come to school, and she would let us know. We would, you know, have like get her cake. We would.
What do you mean she wouldn't want to come to school?
Like, because like she would be pregnant and she would have to go and give birth and so on, and then she'd be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be coming back next term. So we would get her cake. Would have like an actual farewell to her, but it was never like kind of like oh yeah, teacher's not coming next semester. Like, oh, she's just like gone.
True.
She evaporated.
Yeah, and it's the school can value the teachers to a certain extent, but actually it's the parents that really value, because they see the time and the heart and the soul and energy that you're giving. And I remember in our school, first of all, I used to teach for a couple of years in a school in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and we weren't meant to actually have interactions with the parents. It wasn't allowed. But the parents would always be like, so how's she doing? How's Elia? And then you kind of tell them. And then they'd always try and sneak in gifts into the school in their handbags. You know, the parents, so cute. They'd be like, this is for you. And I'm like, I'm not allowed to take it. But then obviously sometimes you just put it under the desk. Because, you know, they've literally put, and it if it was a gift of high value, there might be a discomfort there.
True.
But generally, it might have been something that the kid made at home for you, or they went to like an arts and crafts. You'd be like, thank you so much. Cute.
Because you know what, as well, I remember when I was like younger, I promise you guys that a good teacher leaves a huge impact on the kids. And I remember, like, you know, from the first day of school, I'd go back home and I'd be like, Mom, so this teacher is my favorite teacher. And immediately my mom would be like, okay, well, you know what? So if my daughter likes her, then she is going to be a good influence on her. And then, of course, there would be like that kind of like relationship. So...
I still remember my cutie Zayn. If you're out there, you're probably about 10. I love you. I miss you. It was so adorable.